Hello and welcome, race fans, as we get ready for another wonderful night of high action racing here from Michigan tonight with the Numb Thumbs Racing League Cup Series. Boy, oh boy, have these guys been on fire here this season, and we're in store for another good one here tonight at one of our personal favorite tracks to watch racing at, and they're going to be doing it for 200 miles. But definitely be in your seats with a cold brew for this one. As we get on ready to get the party started, let's go ahead and start things off with the National Anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, these great races and broadcasts can only be brought to you by some fantastic partners and sponsors. So let's go ahead and see if I can't run out of breath while running through all these, because the list just keeps on growing. We got tonight's race sponsor of Gulf Coast Sand, your premier fill for sand and gravel and whatever have you down there on that Gulf Coast. I'm sure they're going to be busy here coming up. They got their own like freight lines and everything, so be sure to look them on up down there at Gulf Coast Sand. Let's see here. We also have ButtKicker on board the entire season. Add a little rumble to your seat with some extra haptics, make your sim experience even just that more real. And we got DEP graphics with some of the most eye-popping paints out here on the simulator. Be sure to go and get them involved as well as AdminBoxx, the solution for race admins to get things under control during some of these live races here in iRacing. Just at a push of the button, they can throw cautions, wave black flags, clear stuff, do whatever they gotta do. They do a great job down there with their button boxes, so be sure to go and support them, as well as some more other sponsors. We got excuse me, well, that is coming up. Got SimGearCentral.com jumping on board. They got some fantastic racing button boxes as well. We got all the flips, dials, knobs, and everything in between. So be sure to go and get with them, as if you mentioned the broadcast here on AAA for Numb Thumbs Racing, you get 10% off on your order. So definitely go check them out. Their website's still under construction a little bit, so don't you worry. They're getting that thing up and running, as well as TrackDogsRacing.com, the merchandise supplier here for the Numb Thumbs Racing League in all series. So be sure to order your hats, shirts, whatever have you over there at TrackDogsRacing.com. as well as Track Bar Media, jumping on board for the rest of the entire season in all the leagues as well. Look at their pictures and videos of the sims and the real racing. Man, it is absolutely fantastic. So be sure to go over there and give them some love. As always, I am Alan Brown, and I leave Eagle Putt short, but I am joined by my good friend, Mr. Alan English. And Alan, we are here at the wonderful, wonderful world of Michigan, and it's going to always, always, always be a great race whenever we come here.
Absolutely, man. We love watching broadcasts from here, broadcasting this from here. We love racing here. But it doesn't matter if it's Cup cars, Xfinity, trucks, open wheel, it doesn't matter. Michigan is a great track. It puts on great racing. It's a little bit more of a technical track than Talladega or Daytona. You really have to pay attention to tire wear here. And it looks really wide, right? So you think, you could run several wide here. It's not necessarily the case. You get any wider than about 2 wide here, you're kind of running out of room to run because there's a pretty specific line to run around here. Our other broadcast partner tell you a little bit more about it. He's an expert here at Michigan anyway. But yeah, it's just fun to watch. I enjoy all the racing we always see here at Michigan.
And speaking of that partner down there on pit road, Mr. Adam Turner, don't over tee it and hit into his group. He's gonna be getting angry at you, and he's one to get on out there and fight. Adam, Michigan, Ted Nugent's backyard, one of your favorite tracks, one of your best tracks. You're a champion here. Go ahead and give these folks a little details about here.
Yeah, that's true, champion. Pretty obvious if you know anything about Michigan that I'm pretty great at it. But I've never done it in this vehicle here. This will be different, the next gen vehicle. But I think the track is going to be kind of the same. So basically, you come out of turn 2, it tightens up. It looks like it doesn't tighten up. I mean, it doesn't actually tighten up, but it really feels tight coming out of 2. There's a lot of issues we see in 2. And then throughout the race, where you make your money is 3 and 4. You can run that thing 3 wide, 3 and 4, but you got to manage your tires. We'll talk about it during the race, but anybody wants some tips, I'll let these guys know how to win here. But 1 fast repair tonight, 70% fuel, 5 sets of tires, you're going to need them. 25 incident points and you're DQ'd. It's 117 on track. That's pretty hot for Michigan this time of year, so it'll make it a little slippery out there. But I love this track, you know that. We're going to see some fun in turn 2, I guarantee you that.
Yes, sir, indeed. As we look at that race info for tonight's race, nice long and wide 2-mile track here, allowing these cars get up to pretty high speeds. Be on the lookout for some draft action going on. But like you said, Turner, a little warm down there on the track here today, but otherwise a lovely sunshiny day, bringing us down to that key to the race. And surprisingly, it's listen to Adam. Adam knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, you gotta know when to consult the experts here.
Yeah, the master.
That's right, the
It's
master.
the one time on iRacing I can actually say something. But I do have a good feel for this track. I don't know why. A lot of people like it. A lot of people probably just like me are really good at it because it's a track that if you put a lot of laps in here, you kind of get the feel for it. Now, the differences here is these next gen cars. It'll be real interesting to see how because there's draft on the back. There's a lot of air pushed off other vehicles. I've never really driven one of these, so we'll see how it affects Michigan tonight here.
As these drivers make their way on around here for qualifying right now, we got a few people joining us here on the face cams. 00 Joe Bennett, as always, is one of those. Man, I hate it how the dang thing gets all jacked up with that. Yeah, okay, that's a little better. He's out there running, same thing with the fan favorite, the 79 of Stubbs, Timothy Stubblefield. looking to jump up and get a podium finish here for the first time this season. We can't wait to have him up here. Man, it's been forever. Also got the 27 of Gavin Ray, trying to put down some good laps here tonight. Juan Jimenez, we've seen him race very good here. Look for him to be a strong contender, as well as last week's race winner, Joe Hoggard, in that 64. Had a fantastic run over there at Watkins Glen. Let's see if he can keep that momentum on, charging on forward as he tries to make it 2 in a row here tonight.
John Buckley out there pulling for the 27 tonight. Gavin Ray in that Camaro running around out there, that yellow and red paint scheme. He's hard to miss out there. That's a brightly colored car. Beautiful paint. Stub Nation, they're out in full force right now. Jessica Stubblefield and Rebecca Smith's here. Jessica Stubblefield says, Stub Nation, of course, let's go. We're going to get kicked off here in just a minute. This is a 10-minute qualifying session. So we're a little over halfway through. We got about 4 minutes left here before we get cranked up. Start gridding. Hey, Adam, what do you like running at Texas too? I mean, ever since they kind of redid Texas, it's nothing like Michigan, is it? I mean, it's the banking and stuff is completely different, isn't it?
It is. I'm not a fan of it because I'm just not that good at it. I think the trioval of Texas they made it really tough, but it tightens up coming out of 4, kind of like it tightens up here coming out of 2. I guess you can make that comparison, but 2 totally different tracks. The extra half mile added, this one can run kind of like a super speedway, especially on that backstretch.
Well, like with the truck series, I think you could pretty much run wide open here for at least a few laps before that tire wear starts to get you and you start pushing.
Yeah, that's the one thing you have to do. You have to manage your tires better than everybody else. And that's where 3 and 4 will come into play, as we progress during the race. 3 and 4 is where you really can make time up on your competitor.
And tonight will definitely be a long race. 100 laps around here. Barring any cautions, man, it's no matter how you put it, that's going to be a long time behind the wheel for some of these guys. And you know what? I don't want to jinx it, so I'm not going to say it. But I got a good feeling about this one tonight.
Yeah, I think we're going to go green the whole way. That's what I think.
I wasn't going to say
it. Mike McLean over on YouTube says, "Hey, Jason Kraft, I'm here. I'm here to cheer you on." What's wrong, Mr. Brown? You superstitious?
You jinxed it now. Come on. How many times have we seen the curse of the broadcaster rear its ugly head?
Lately, a bunch. Oh, my goodness.
I'll just throw a wrench in it. I guarantee you're going to see some kind of caution. There's just no way.
There you go.
Out of 1 and 2, drivers start to get real itchy right there and make mistakes. It just happens, and I think we're going to see one. I'm just going to say maybe one, but we're going to see it, and hopefully some anger, because this track can bring out a little bit of anger.
I guess Derek Welch is listening to the broadcast. He says, "Well, there you go. That's bogus, bro. Why did you even have to say that?" So obviously he's got some superstitious tendencies as well.
Everything's bogus around here. I'm trying to catch up with that. I'm not sure why. But this is almost a super speedway, so Derek Welch should, probably do pretty well here, since that's the kind of tracks he likes.
Jessica Stubblefield says, "If I'm not allowed to say caution, you can't say that." Say, I said it. Said caution.
He used the sign, like the emojis,
Yeah, emoji sign. You're still saying
cool.
it.
No, but she didn't say it. She used the sign. Everything counts if you use the sign. Right? Maybe that's like a workaround.
Wrecking Ball just said 10 cautions are now incoming.
Oh Lord. Great. Hey, well, we're gonna have fun regardless.
Oh yeah, for sure.
it's racing, man. You're gonna have problems. You're gonna have people crashing. I mean, nobody wants to go to a race that there's no crashes, right? I mean, how boring was it when I went down to Texas all the time to see Jimmy Johnson run circles around everybody? That wasn't very fun. Let's see some fights and a little bit of action, maybe some carnage.
And who knows, as will Mark Collins get this final lap in? I think he will. Oh, no! Almost got it there as qualifying comes to an end, which means it's time to send it on down onto pit road here. And I actually have a camera for this. Hold on. Where you at? There you at. As we get all stacked up and gridded up, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver is going to start here tonight. And that starts us off with the 2 of Juan Jimenez, starting way up at the front, winning that pole position. We got the 27 of Gavin Ray going to be starting on his outside in second. The 3 of Chris Muth Jr. is going to match his car number here tonight, starting in third. With the 00 machine, 00 Joe Bennett, starting in fourth. Panic at the Disco, Ryan Pandisio is going to be starting in fifth for that 663 with the 40, I think it's 43, I can't read today, but Kevin Delia going to be starting up there in sixth. You got the 48 of Zeth Hawley starting in seventh, with Jason Kraft starting here in eighth. In ninth, we have the 97 of Dave Hoytsma, with the 23 of Mark Collins rounding out tonight's starting top 10.
Timothy Stubblefield in the 79 will be starting 11th. Go check him out, Stubbs Racing, over there on Facebook. The number 1 of Derek Welch will be starting in 12th. Row number 7 is going to be the 44 of Dana Shepard, and the 24 of Bay Area Rob Chowdhury on the outside. Row number 8 is going to be the 999 of Corey Sibley, and the 22 of Eric Thornton. Row number 9 is going to be the 9 of Thomas Welch. And Speed Demon 1215 is here to cheer for Tommy Welch. So good luck out there, Tommy in the 9 machine. And Paul Ferdiani will be starting to his outside in the 33 machine. Row number 10, in rounding out your top 20, is going to be the 15 of Vincent Short. And it's going to be Joe Hoggard in the 64. Cody Williams is actually going to be race controlling tonight, even though it's showing him there starting in 20th place.
Okay, well, that helps me out. I got 72 Carson Conway. I got 55 of Tom Barish, and 17 of Bryant Newingham. Will round that thing out, man. Let's get the party started. I really like the way this they start here in the pits. It's a pretty cool look.
It really is. I love it when these cars, almost like a Le Mans style start. I want to see these drivers run across that pit wall to get into their car and all buckled in and whatnot, peeling off of pit roads, still trying to do their straps and all that. And man, that's what we need. You want to you want to liven up NASCAR, get some of those big old boys who, it takes a good minute for them to slide into that seat, have them run across the track.
Well, who hates the blue cone? Nobody yet. Why? Everybody should hate the blue cone. Nobody hit it tonight.
It's Cale Turbeville's job coming up here tomorrow night as we get all lined up and ready to go to take the green flag for the first time here tonight. And we look forward to being with you for all 100 laps of this fantastic race that we have in store for you here tonight. The field makes its way down into turns 3 and 4 as the pace car is going to start to peel off down onto pit road here in just a second. We got Juan Jimenez and Gavin Ray getting those engines all spooled up, round up, turboed up, doing whatever they can as they make their way into that restart zone. Green flag is waving. Away we go, down and across the line, side by side, sending it off down into turns 1 and 2. Still side by side, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows deep as they make their way into those corners. Still side by side as they're going to be coming hard out of the exit here. Still with the 2 and the 27. Both drivers getting a great start here tonight, trying to keep that front position forward. This is where we're going to start to see little bit of difference of lane choices here. Some people running way up high, some people kind of running in the middle, some people drifting way down low. As we got some beating and banging behind some of these boys, as that 2 of Juan Jimenez just gets enough of a run, as we're 3 wide in the middle of the pack.
Now, 48 was big loose coming around the front of the tractor, coming out of turn 4. Not sure what happened there. It looked almost like a glitch. He kind of kicked sideways, but he recovered from it pretty well. These cars are not as easy to save as like the trucks would be. So great save there by the 48, Seth Hawley.
And still side by side. They took a break from that 3 wide action here for at least a moment. Looks like right around that 9 of Tommy Welch, man. He is trying to move up some spots and move up quick. Same thing with that 1 of Derek Welch. He's already up 3 spots right now. You also had, I think it was Kevin Delia in that 43 machine. He is absolutely flying, making use of that bottom line, because it looks like everyone's trying to hold on and hold that kind of like middle to high line here. We got Spam invading us. We thank you for watching, Spam, as always.
Damn Spam. Looked like Joe Hoggard had some issues out of 2. Held it together. The more wear they get on those things, the more you're going to see a little bit of fun and drifting and sliding around. 3 wide a little bit back here. We're going to 1.
Adam, what's your preferred line here? I mean, it's kind of hard to tell starting out, but hot tires and all. But, I mean, hot track, but you got a fresh set of tires.
Ooh.
Oh, we got beating and banging here.
Oh, and then we got
the 1.
Ooh, quite a bit.
Oh, man. That...
Corey Sibley spinning.
Yeah, that 999 Corey Sibley, he just absolutely went through the rock tumbler there, getting hit from each and every single angle as he was going side by side with some of those drivers back there. Let's go ahead and take a look back and see what happened here.
Well, looked like Derek Welch kind of got into it with another driver.
With the 27, yeah, both drivers were able to save it. It was kind of like the after effects of people trying to check up, and oh man.
Yeah, Collins kind of overreacted and went into Sibley, and then everything else happened. So, yeah, what'd I tell you? Right out of 2, it tightens up. These cars get real tight.
Yeah, Dana.
We're going to see 1.
Dana Shepard getting knocked around in that, as well as trying to see who else got kind of flubbed about there. Oh, Bayer, you're Rob dirt tracking it around some traffic there. Whoo, Lord. Able to make it on through. I think the Gambler, Paul Ferdiani, also made it on through. Let's go ahead and take a look from his perspective here, as this happened pretty much right in front of him. You can see just the smoke clouds billowing. He sees plenty of room down there on that inside, as a couple cars are losing control on that outside there, and able to safely get through that one.
Takers coming down pit lane. Yeah, what do you think they're doing here, Adam? Fuel only, maybe just packing more fuel in it?
I don't know. There could be some guys with damage, obviously. I don't think it's a little early to put some new tires on it. It'd have to be fuel, but some people are putting tires on, which is, you only have 5 sets, so I'd kind of stretch it if you could.
Yeah, had that too. Juan Jimenez, 43, Kevin Delia, 663, Ryan Pandisio all coming down. It was about a pretty, I would say, a good chunk of this field. I mean, we really only had 7 people stay out, so a lot of people coming on down into pit lane here early on to either get some damage fixed or to, who knows, like you said, just maybe top up on fuel, thinking, you know, this could definitely turn into a fuel mileage race here.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell by the times they ran, like Mark Collins and Tommy Welch looked like they had a full service pit stop. Chris Muth Jr. in that number 3 Budweiser machine looks like he might have done 2 right side tires just by the time. And the other guys look like just fuel, so kind of a cool thing about iRacing. We can kind of guesstimate what happened in that cockpit, but just by the times there.
And Shepard, the 44 machine, looks like he's been sitting in there a little over a minute. he might be getting some damage repaired manually to save a fast repair.
He is. Now he's coming out. He's going to try to get ahead of this pace car. Smart move. Save that thing.
Yep.
That one fast repair if you can.
Stay on the lead lap, too.
As the 663 of Panic at the Disco, Ryan Pandisio, your Clean Driver Award winner here for last week from Watkins Glen. As always, the Clean Driver Award awarded to the driver you would trust to take your grandmother around this racetrack. And because we know quite a few of these guys, you know, they'd wreck their grandma to pick up a win here. Well, Ryan Pandisio running it very clean, picking only one off track at that road course here last week.
Yeah, he was a couple of us privately were thinking to ourselves that he was going to be unbeatable there, but of course he came in second place, didn't he? I think he came in second behind Joe Hoggard, I think.
I believe you are correct. Excuse me. As the field heads on down the back straightaway here, and we get ready to get back to green flag racing. We're going to have the 00 Joe Bennett up at front controlling this restart with the 97 of Dave Hoytsma up there. Timothy Stubblefield right now, if he can hold on to this spot right now, he's going to be looking pretty good for a finish here with that no pit strategy here early on, as the pace car guides these guys through 3 and 4 and makes his dive down onto pit lane here. We get ready to rumble once again. Side by side racing action going as the green flag waves and away we go. 00 Joe, holy jump. He got out there in a hurry, leaving everybody else with nothing but dust to look at as he peels on down into turns 1 and 2. Hoytsma and Kraft are going to be side by side with Eric Thornton in the 22 machine, trying to inch his way on up with a little bit of a battle there on the 99.
Yeah, that top line did not get a very good run off from the start, and it affected them a little bit. Now they're really spread out, kind of like it's like a free-for-all of Dallas traffic right now. Just a little bit of everybody somewhere.
Yeah, beating, banging, dodging, and rolling here. Heading into turns 1 and 2 once again. That 663 of Pandisio, he's not wasting any time after that pit stop. He's trying to climb back up that leaderboard as much as he can with the fuel-only stop that last time. Kevin Delia is trying to do the same. He is in suit with the 48 and the 3 as we continue to have side-by-side action up here at the front. Oh boy, 3 wide here.
Yeah, they're pushing the envelope of these things a little early. Made it work. A little bit more wear on these tires, you will not be able to make that work.
That's still 3 wide. You got Jimenez, Pandisio, Delia, still side by side by side. You can see behind him Joe Hoggard there slicing and dicing his way through some of this traffic as they finally figure out that 3 wide situation. And you know, with fresh or relatively fresh tires, you can do that 3 wide, but we're gonna really start seeing these guys push out of these corners here coming on up once when the tire wear really comes into a factor. As we still got a pretty good race going on. Dave Hoytsma's closed that gap up to the 00 machine of Joe Bennett here, as almost scraping that outside wall. These guys are running it almost like Homestead, just right up against it.
Yeah, I think the 201 Jimenez lost a little bit of paint off the right side of that NTG Ford Mustang. He is running way up there close to it. Let's see here. Stud Nation out there representing tonight. Helen's back with us tonight, saying go number 79. John Buckley says watching tires in practice, they're going pretty quick. Let's see. Nikki's here pulling for Vince Short once again. Rebecca Davis says that Asher is here again, saying go Timmy go. So Stubblefield once again with a big fan club out there. As Juan Jimenez hits the fence again. He's not hitting it hard enough to do a ton of damage to that car, but if he keeps that up, he may break a front suspension piece there. It's a steering piece or something.
Yeah, one of the tricks here, if you do hit that wall pretty hard in 2, you need to hold it.
Boy.
You need to hold the thing.
Talking about leaning on each other there, I was a little worried that the 43 wasn't going to be able to slide between that 48 and the 663. The door was just slightly ajar, though, and he was able to fling it on open and get that position in there.
Yeah, if you could wedge your nose down in there and at least have position, chances a lot better completing that pass.
That's the 64, Joe Hoggard. He sees a chance to make some moves here, getting up the inside of the 3 right now, trying to do the same thing with some traffic, but he's starting to run into some other traffic issues as they're almost 3 wide in front of him here.
Yeah, 43 kind of come down and shut the door on the 64 and took away that momentum. The 22 trying to go super low, but that banking down there is not as steep, and now he's paying for it. Oh, he's gotten into the 43 a little bit there. Yeah, this is progressive banking. Means the higher you go up the track, the steeper the banking gets.
3 wide, almost 4 wide here as we had contact in the middle of the field.
Ryan Pandisio and Joe Hoggard kind of bumping fenders there for a second.
Yeah, I really like what Paul Ferdiani's doing. He's just kind of laying back behind all this mess. And I think he might be saving tires, him and Chowdhury, just watching what's happening in front of him. As they're running into traffic, Chowdhury hits the wall. Does fine there.
Getting a little bump from the 43 there. 43 kind of moving down on the 3 there. He didn't look like he was completely clear there. It's so hard to see out of these things when you're driving. You really got to rely on that spotter in your ear letting you know if you're clear. Sometimes you kind of try to anticipate the little delay, between you being clear and your computer spotter telling you you're clear.
Oh boy, was that close between Welch and Pandisio. You can just see the focus on Welch's face right now and how close these guys are racing against each other. Oh man, almost contact again. It's once when you get those quarter panels just not lined up, man, things will happen in a hurry, and this is just an absolute mob of traffic as things kind of look like they may try to single file out here as the tires kind of start to wear a little bit more here on lap number 17.
Albert Anderson joining us on YouTube as well, saying let's go NTR drivers and teammates. John Buckley said let's keep on climbing back up there, Gavin. And Speed Demon 1215 saying, come on, number 9, Tommy Welch, climb up them spots. 97 really, really way up high. Contact in the outside wall just a little bit. 3 wide there with Pandisio and Zeth Hawley. Round through the tri-oval. We're seeing a lot more 3 wide here than I would have thought.
Yeah, and then you're definitely seeing how these guys are managing the tires. It's affecting them differently out here. Track is hot. We're going to start seeing a lot more moving and shaking as this thing plugs along. We're only on lap 18 right now, and those tires are already chirping.
Indeed. As the 64, Joe Hoggard, up 20 spots, takes the lead of this race. He gets around both Delia and Joe Bennett here in the last couple laps. He's going to try to run away from these guys, keep them out of the draft as much as possible here as they continue to fight behind them.
Yeah, a couple of these cars, including the 97 of Hoytsma, are guys that are really running that extreme high outside line. I'm not sure how much it's helping them as far as momentum coming off the turns. I know they're putting a little bit less wheel into it, so I guess in theory they're saving some tires.
I don't know. We've seen this all season long, though. It's almost like these new next-gen cars, they really prefer to run that kind of like middle to high line at a lot of these tracks. As man, Derek Welch just sending it on down. Whoo, man, that was a move.
Full send, but he's going to lose some momentum there as he comes out of the turn. And 663, Ryan Pandisio is fighting to get that spot back. Doesn't look like he's going to make it, though. 97 scraping the wall again, David Hoytsma. Three wide again here. Is that Muth on the outside in that Budweiser 3 machine? Giving them plenty of room down low here.
Yeah, you got the 15 of Vince Short. He's putting in the work here, makes that pass on that low line. He's saved enough tires to continue to run that line. Oh, as we got a couple cars back up into that outside wall, and that's the other thing too. You got to be careful of, when you're racing nose to tail with somebody here and they start drifting up to that outside wall, it's not on purpose, but you end up going to that outside wall as well.
Yeah, the checkups, when they happen like that, you really got to, let off quick. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself eating the back bumper of that car in front of you.
Look at Bennett just stuck in the middle. Jimenez is down there. The 22's with him as well. That is some serious racing right there.
22, Eric Thornton. Loving that low line right here, and he's on the bottom. Oh, he just gets collected. Double O Joe Bennett and
the 2, Juan Jimenez.
There you go, thank you.
You can only do that so long. I mean, they had a good run. They were really racing hard, and we'll have to see what kind of caused that. 2 tightens up, boys. Jimenez hit the wall, and just chain reaction from there, look like. That thing will come out and grab you in turn 2 if you're on the outside and don't lift appropriately.
That's exactly what happened. Things tightening up coming out of turn number 2. As the 2 jumps up, scrapes the outside wall, and Double O Joe, I mean, he had a car to the inside. There was not too much that he could do there. And they kind of bump into each other and make contact. Thankfully for the 2, the only wall contact that he had was with that outside wall. Nice big apron there for him to escape down. Well, here we go. We're going to be about a quarter of the way through this race, which is currently being led by that 64 of Joe Hoggard. I got the sneaky suspicion, boys, we're going to probably see a full tire stop for pretty much the entire field.
Yeah, I think you'd be dumb not to. Take advantage while you can. This is the time right now.
Yeah, because you're going to get 4 sets, right? So, 4 additional sets. So,
Correct.
Yeah, come down here and burn them tires, man. I'd definitely come down and put 4 fresh ones on.
Yeah, and they are. They're listening to us, or they're smarter than us, or whatever.
Probably both.
That's what they're doing right now.
Coming on down.
John Buckley says this is a good group of drivers. Really fun to watch.
And they are, as we watch these guys try to hit those pit boxes exactly just the right way, minimize that pit time as much as possible, as we're going to have an absolute drag race coming here down off of pit road. It's going to be neck and neck across the line.
Oh, Vince is short, I think, got him.
Got him by the nose. Vince Short with a blistering quick pit stop there. Jumps back over that 64 of Hoggard. Then you got Chris Muth Jr., Eric Thornton, Ryan Pandisio, Dave Hoytsma, Derek Welch, Zeth Hawley, Jason Kraft, and the Gambler, Paul Ferdiani, all coming down off of pit lane.
Yeah, it looks like Juan Jimenez is still sitting in the pits. He's going to try to get some of that repaired. Manually was what it looks like, saving that fast repair. Speaking of the Gambler, I like his paint. It has a little gambling paint scheme on it, old Ferdiani.
Oh, yeah.
333 or 33.
Oh, yeah. He's
got King Cleveland Casino or something, isn't it?
The Jack.
The Jack, okay.
It's Jack. We actually we know somebody who works there.
Really?
Or I don't know if he works there anymore. He might be at a different casino now, but good,
Oh, okay.
good friend Gregory Shaw.
That's a casino called the Jack.
The Jack.
Pretty clever.
Yeah.
I like it.
He must be doing security out there. So.
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly right. I don't know. He might actually be at the MGM now, where they got the horse track and all that.
Oh, the ponies. Everybody likes to race the pony races. I know a guy that can
There it is.
give you all the bets, the stuff you need to know. He's like a secret bookie extraordinary. I'll have to set y'all up with him if you want to do some horse betting.
There you see right there at the bottom of our screen, Juan Jimenez given the EOL for causing that last incident. He'll be starting in the back of the pack, so he might as well get that damage fixed.
Sure, he did it. A smart move.
Yep,
He's
absolutely.
still on the lead lap. Why not?
You knew
Yeah,
he was getting that EOL.
Saving the faster pair too, so let it go.
Not too bad on cautions here. Is this number 2 or 3? Number 2.
Number 2.
Okay. That's not too bad. We got what? Close to 20 green flag laps in that last little stretch.
And we saw a
Those
bunch
sand
of
too.
3 wide racing out of that one as well. As the pace car makes his move down onto pit lane, Vince Short. He's going to get this one restarted here just as they enter in that Geico restart zone. And away we go back to green flag racing here from Michigan. Side by side, they send it on down into turns 1 and 2. Vince with a pretty good start there. He's going to leapfrog out in front of that 64 Joe Hoggard, who we have seen him do some really good work on that inside line. So be on the lookout for him to try to steal that number 1 spot back away. Eric Thornton in the 22 machine. He's also up quite a bit. Man, talk about a heck of a top 3 right now of movers. Short's up dang near 20. Hoggard's dang near up near 20. Eric Thornton's up near just about 15 as these guys are beating and banging down the front straightaway here.
Don't get too cocky. These tires are cold, so
Right.
be a little aware. You got another lap, but you need to put in them before you can really start ripping it. You're still cold on lap 2 here, but it looks like they're handling it well. This is Michigan. Everything I predicted has come true. With Karnak of Michigan, that would be me. Really fun to watch these guys put it out there on the track because they're getting after it. Look at them there in turn 3. Beautiful.
Well, welcome Lauren Stubblefield to the chat. I'm kind of disappointed that you didn't bring that Taco Bell for the whole party here. Kind of disappointing, but yeah, 7-Eleven tricks and a nice stop for Vincent Short. Let's go. Hey, look, you know, you can say that the pit times, the time actually spent in the stall, it is randomized, okay, depending on I don't know what factors they use, but it's a random time generated by iRacing. But if you're really good at hitting your pit box and getting slowed down fast and you know, ripping out of there and getting up to that pit road speed as fast as you can make a lot of positions up on pit road. Just take some practice getting in and out of that box.
As we got some side-by-side beating and banging action going on. Paul Ferdiani got kind of left out there and had a little air shove that shoved him out to that outside wall. Oh, behind him. Oh, no, that is Paul. He gets up into that outside wall here again.
Yeah, here they are racing their tails off, and all I can think about is Taco Bell.
Yeah, I know.
Brought back the Mexican pizza and everything. I wish they'd bring the cheeserito back. I don't know if y'all remember that one. But none of that. Watch these guys. I like how some of them dip down low. And I guess they think that causes them a little bit more speed. It helps them a little bit. I don't know. I never was into that. I think it's hard to come out of that transition, personally.
It is. We saw Derek Welch do it earlier. He's trying to do it again on Ryan Pandisio right now, but he sent it in there and he made up a bunch of distance, but as soon as they got in the middle of the turn, he lost it. He lost all that he gained or most of it anyway.
Yeah.
Plus, it puts a hurting on that right front, doesn't it?
I'm just not a fan of dipping down low like that. A lot of these guys are. It's preference, really. Like Jessica says the Baja Blast hits harder after a long day. Well, that's because you're putting like vodka in it. That's why it hits
Making
harder.
a daiquiri out of it.
Yeah, that's the best part about that thing. Just for the ride home, you know. Good racing backstretch.
Good daiquiri places around here. All the drive-through ones.
Oh yeah, we got one too.
Drive-through daiquiri. Oh, y'all got them up there too now?
Oh yeah, we got a good one.
It's not an open container. You can't get an open container ticket if that piece of Scotch tape is still taping that straw down to the top of the lid.
All you have to have is the paper on top of the plastic straw.
Yeah.
You're good. Just put it back. Responsibly, right? You can have one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I'm not talking about drinking all day and driving around. Just one going home. Stressful day.
Look at them all single file up here. Are they kind of deciding, well, let's click off some laps? Well, it doesn't look like it. They're kind of all running different lines now. See, that's what I get for talking.
Yeah, one of those guys making that move way up here at the front is the 22 of Eric Thornton, battling his way up to the lead. He's got the 48 of Seth Hawley and the 15 of Vince Short hanging right there behind him. Joe Hoggard hasn't gone away, though. He's been biding his time, maybe saving a little bit more of that rubber as they break their way down the back straightaway here from Michigan, lap 33 out of 100. So we're a third of the way through this race, and these guys are looking as strong as ever.
Look at Gavin in the 27. He's moving up. He took advantage of that 3 and 4 turn. Made up a couple of spots and see if he can hold it going into 1 and 2. Sibley kind of looks like he's got the front stretch. Took a little bit advantage of him there. A lot of back and forth. That's the cool part about this track. He's just
Ferdiani in contact with the 1.
Sure did, but he's down low in that big open space. I don't think we'll see a caution there.
No, he was just able to save that one. We were riding around with the perfect view with that one of Derek Welsh for that incident. Oh, as we got some side-by-side scraping action here. Little right side romance from the 48 to the 64.
Oh, that right side romance. I can't get over what these girls are talking about here on the. They got a Taco Bell bar in downtown Nashville. What is happening? Is that real? Like they got booze and everything?
Like Taco Cabana in San Antonio, except they actually got an actual bar in there.
Man, with a massive run, the 663 of Ryan Pandisio just nowhere to go with it. Has to check up before some massive contact with Kevin Delia and Eric Thornton here. And all the while, he was getting that run even after tagging the outside wall. He's trying to push. Look at this. We got some bump drafting going on here.
That's incredible. 663 to 43, joining forces there together to get around the 22. That was awesome.
Yeah, man, just keep plugging away. We're going to see a little bit of everything tonight, looks like.
Track Bar Media joining us over on YouTube, one of our proud sponsors for the Numb Thumbs Racing League. Thank y'all for joining us. Track Bar Media said, keep that Track Bar Media machine up front, Vince. Vince Short, of course, running a Track Bar Media sponsored machine out there.
He's up 18 spots. Heck of a run so far.
Absolutely.
Long way to go, though. Long way to go. But so far, this has been super impressive with this group of drivers.
Yes, sir.
Find us a link here for Track Bar Media so y'all out there can check them out. Check out their Facebook page here. I know it looks like a long post here, but trust me, it's just a link. And there we go. Oh, it won't post. Too many characters.
Well, you know what? Someone's in in chat here that could probably help you, and that's Track Bar Media themselves.
Yeah, link yourself into that thing. Do the work for yourselves, guys. Look at this. Oh, man, up all the way to, what, 8, 9 here? Looks like 8. Everybody's really having a good battle. Hoytsma's at the back end of that front little pack. See how they spread out in 3 and 4 Brown? They're kind of single file on the backstretch, and then they start spreading out, trying to find a little bit of way to make some moves.
Well, it's that draft you get off of that backstretch, Adam. I mean, we saw it from Ryan Pandisio. You can't kind of, almost bump draft here, but it's also just how quickly these cars are running. I mean, in the draft, they're running, Daytona speeds here on this long 2-mile racetrack that's non-restrictor plated. So the draft is definitely coming into play, and I think that's where we're seeing a lot of that action in the 3 and 4s. People picking up that run, coming down off of that long back straightaway, and being able to maybe try to slice and dice and make some moves.
Watching the speeds here, they're getting some 190, 194, about 194 miles an hour going into turn 1. That's hauling.
Another thing of interest, unlike last night at one of our other races, the track temp is actually going down as it should be. So we're starting to see a little bit cooler surface.
Oh, Double O Joe!
Oh no, Double O Joe Bennett and the Georgia Bulldogs Camaro hitting the inside wall.
I think it was him in the 9. It might have been someone else as well, but
999 maybe here. Yep. Well, no, maybe not.
Well, it's coming out of 2. He hits the wall, comes down on Collins, and I don't know what else happened.
Yeah,
besides
that was pretty much it. Double O Joe snagging that outside wall, like you said, and it jumps on
do they
out.
not listen to me? If those guys down there are driving, not listen to me. First off, he's driving Georgia Bulldogs machine. I mean, I like Double O Joe, but I mean, come on now.
Yeah, I'm gonna make him an LSU paint.
There you go. But that wall, it just surprisingly crazy how fast it can come up on you. You could have been running the same, what you felt is the same style lap the last 5 laps, and then all of a sudden you're in the same turn and you're in the wall. It's just look a little different there.
If it wasn't for that huge runoff area, he wouldn't be driving back to the pits. He'd be towing right now. He had a little bit of room to keep them tires locked up and slow down, so he didn't hit that inside wall so hard.
Yeah, that's an awesome part about this track is that big runoff area. That saves a lot of damage to some of these cars, as we see a lot of action there in turn 2.
Well, and Double O Joe Bennett will get a EOL for causing that accident coming across the nose of the 23. So he might as well not use his fast repair and sitting there and try to. Well, it depends on how bad his damage is. He might have to use fast repair.
And let's see.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a meatball, so he's going to have to use it.
Okay.
With the race coming down off of pit lane, Vince Short leads Joe Hoggard, Seth Hawley, Juan Jimenez. Juan Jimenez might have only either done a 2-tire or just a big fuel-only stop here. Jumping up there with some good pit time. Kevin Delia, Ryan Pandisio, the 22 of Eric Thornton, 97 of Dave Hoytsma on up there as well. So some great pit times here. These guys absolutely hitting that box just right.
Dana Shepard also maybe fuel only. Bank a set of tires, maybe thinking that we're going to get another caution. If they do get another one around lap 50, lap 55, maybe a little bit farther down the line, then they can get their tires.
Yeah, well, while we're here under caution, let's go ahead and talk to a driver we really haven't talked to this year. How about that 97 of Dave Hoytsma, part of that APX Racing team. Let's do this as we got Dave Hoytsma here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Man, it's been looking pretty racy out there. 2 wide, 3 wide, especially when these new tires get on up to temps. What are you guys kind of seeing with the car and how it's handling here?
Yeah, the tires are definitely the key to this race. You got to take care of them. I did it on that first run, and I paid for it. So that's what I'm trying to focus on the rest of this race. Just take care of them tires.
Yeah, we saw a few drivers doing some fuel-only stops. I don't know how that's going to work out for those guys, as that right front's got to be getting pretty bald on some of those cars.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the strategy I would have taken, but to each his own. We'll see how this works out on the restart. Hopefully that got guys sliding in the wall.
Yeah, good luck to you. It's going to be a fun one.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Send Dave right back on down there so he can communicate with his team. I think we were hearing from Derek Welch out there about sending warnings or something about that, but who knows?
He was screaming. What in the hell's going on around here?
There's something about yellow line and pit road down there or something.
Yeah.
I know we had problems with folks driving through boxes. I'm not sure that was what that was about, but
There we go.
looks like we're going back here.
That we are. Vince Short, Joe Hoggard, side by side. Vince getting a pretty good restart here again. He's going to leap right back up to that high line in front of Joe Hoggard. Seth Hawley is going to follow in suit here, just sliding right on up to Juan Jimenez with that great pit stop. Question is, will he have the tires to stay up at the front here for another probably 20 lap run? That's about what we've been seeing here from these guys as we're quickly approaching halfway point through this race.
Yeah, John Buckley letting us know that somebody was passing above that yellow line. So it's a no-no. On the pit lane, that is. There's an extra piece of asphalt up there, telling people that that's not part of pit lane. You can't use that. Can't use that outside line above the yellow.
Well, they tried, didn't they? I mean, might as well give it
Yeah.
See what you
Hey,
do.
better to ask for forgiveness than beg
Permission.
forgiveness than ask permission. Yeah.
I agree, 100%. Ooh, we got one kind of sliding up in the wall. That's at 44. He's fine. Dana Shepard, but a lot of guys pass him right there. At 34, it's serious, man. And it gets more serious the more wear you have on these tires.
Look at all the guys trying to run down Vince Short here. We got the 64 and the 48 side by side. That's Hoggard and Hawley. And then 663 at Pandisio and 43 at Delia right behind them. They're up here trying to put some pressure on the 15. You don't really have to pass a guy if you can force him into making a mistake. This is one of those tracks where you can do that.
I'm more confused. Hoggard and Hawley, that sounds like a duo. Were they in the 80s?
Yeah, them and Hall & Oates made an album together. Yeah.
So, Hoggard and Hawley. But they're up front, man. They're trying to track Vincent down. He's having a good night.
Man, and I was just riding here on the roof of that 22 of Eric Thornton. He's making use of that far low line. And I'm noticing that car really feels that transition if you go all the way down to that bottom line. You can kind of see the grooves separated in the track by those tiny little kind of like black pavement markings there. But when he was drifting all the way down to the bottom of the track, man, the car, I don't want to say looked unsettled, but there was definitely a noticeable transition.
Yeah, he likes to spin it in low and let it slide up the track to the outside wall there.
That's something you really can't do if you're in traffic, though. You know what I mean? And I do like the seams here because if you're paying attention, they're almost like freeway lines. You can kind of follow the seam and take the drift from one seam to the other, or whatever your plan is. Hopefully these guys have a plan.
Here comes Hoggard. Here comes Hoggard on the outside, and Hawley behind him. They're trying to get around Vince Short here. Hoggard is clear. See if he drops on down or... Oh, real tight there between the 15 and the 48. 15 trying to put a little side draft, I think, on the 48, trying to kind of save his position there. Trying the same thing with the 43, but to no avail. Those cars front to nose to tail, they're utilizing that draft a little bit, and just fast enough to get around the 15 and short.
Ooh, 43 starting to maybe do a little bit of left side leaning here, trying to pinch that 15 on down as the 663 and the 97 right behind him are all racing along. But how about this? We got a little bit of a gap forming up here. About just under a second and a half back to the 27 of Gavin Ray, where he's got Jason Kraft, Chris Muth Jr., Corey Sibley, and Derek Welsh all racing it out here. So I think maybe there was a little wall impact and people maybe drifted up the track. You can find that 79 of Stubbs up here as well.
Well, we're halfway through. I wouldn't be too concerned about that because we'll probably see a caution. Stay where you're at. Try to hold that second pack together. And they're kind of, it looks like on the surface, staying pretty steady with the guys in front of them. And they'll give them a little bit of cushion if there's a problem up front. So I kind of like where they're sitting.
That side draft is getting more and more aggressive from the 15. He out of desperation. He is trying to slow these guys down and keep passing them because he had no help on the inside. A little contact between him and the 663 just a second ago. Even with contact, these guys are, for the most part, when they're doing that, they're not upsetting each other as far as upsetting the stability of the race car.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge how much damage these cars have with that new damage model composite body. I can't tell what the heck's going on with, you're used to seeing sheet metal flying everywhere and they don't have a front clip or a tail or whatever. It's different here. It's hard to observe. So, but that secondary pack still running pretty good. Looks like someone overtook Gavin there.
Yep, that's the 99 of Kraft in that Mustang. Yep.
Yeah, he sure did. He's tracking down that lead pack pretty quick.
Trying to do what Lance Armstrong was really good at, was bridging those gaps. As
I was just saying.
I thought he was good at cheating. Sorry, Brad.
Way to ruin my dreams, Adam.
Sorry. I don't know. It's the first thing that popped in my mind.
Yep.
We're demented. Proceed. Sorry to do that.
Well, either way, we still have that 64 of Joe Hoggard up at the front with the 48 of Seth Hawley, man. He is trying to find a way around that 64, looking up high, looking down low, looking back up high as the 64 cuts back across the nose. Man, oh man, these guys are racing hard.
I love seeing that, especially up in front. We got three wide action back here. Ferdiani, Welch, and the 999.
And that's going to be a tough one to come out of. Look at it. They came so close, Welch and the 999. Because they're just so tight on that wall if you're on the outside and you're three wide. There's nowhere for you to go. So they can kind of pinch you how they want to.
Well, we want to thank NTG Trucking for being here with us as well. Saying thanks for tuning in. Everybody show your support. Smash the like button. Thank you so much for being here. And after you get done hitting our thumbs up and subscribing, go over there to NTG Trucking. That's Numb Thumbs Gaming. That's their virtual trucking company, NTG Trucking. They run on the Trucksbook platform. So American Truck Simulator, go check them out for sure. Give them a like and subscribe. Whoa! Derek Welch into the back bumper of the 999. 999 got a little bit sideways there, but able to save it.
Well, that's where a lot of this good racing is right here.
Absolutely.
8 through 15th, whatever.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle of the pack. Really good.
John Buckley said he smashed him buttons so hard he broke his mouse. Thanks, buddy. We sure appreciate it. You can see our AAA accounting division for a voucher for that mouse. Good luck getting a hold of them. Side by side back here, Gavin Ray. Paul Ferdiani kind of going in it.
People are smashing the buttons so hard their mouse broke. That's what John says. Don't smash it that hard. You know. But hit the buttons. Everybody likes to hit the buttons these days. You know, let Zuckerberg know that we're in charge.
Facebook, man.
Oh, is that what we're on?
Yeah, no, this is YouTube. I don't know who runs it.
Those are probably the same people that run everything. Them.
Yeah, Google.
Whatever.
Either way, Hoggard has, at least for the moment, kept the charge at bay. Pandisio, Delia, Holly, and Short all still trying to run away here, as they've opened up almost a 3-second gap now, as Dave Hoytsma's kind of fallen off the pace with the 22 of Eric Thornton. You can see there Jason Kraft, Chris Muth Jr., Corey Sibley all fighting here for a spot. Corey Sibley having a pretty good battle here with that one of Derek Welch as they go side by side into 3 and 4 as we continue to put laps down here from Michigan.
You see how Sibley was out of the draft, but he made up space in 3 and 4. He was losing on the backstretch and against Chris Muth in that 3 Budweiser machine, which is like a thing of beauty. That's American.
That's awesome
artwork.
paint. I love it.
Yeah, it's American artwork right there. But if you're not in the draft, it will slow you down here on the backstretch, but you can make it up in 3 and 4. That's the beauty of 3 and 4. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, you talked about that pre-race. What's so special about 3 and 4? Is it just the how it straightens out coming out of 4? Just helps you get power down sooner, or what?
Well, it's
what's
just
so special?
you have a lot of options. You can. What I would like to do is gauge what my competitor was kind of doing and bait them into continue to do that when I knew I had a better line. So I wouldn't show my hand. It's kind of like playing cards, right? So I'd let them kind of do their thing, and I knew that the last 5 laps of the race, I could beat them in 3 and 4, and that's what I would do.
This
It's a
pack
hard
right
game,
here
I
is
think.
tight.
It is.
Sorry, buddy.
Tight early. Still got 40 laps to go, but they're racing like it's 5 to go.
As we're beating and banging here up at the front, Hoggard trying to hold off the challenge from Pandisio here, able to do so for the moment. I think Hoggard just doing his best, trying to make his car pretty much 18 feet wide here, as behind him you still got people leaning on each other. You got 43 of Delia and the 15 of Short. They've been having a good battle here on this long run. Still back here kind of in that secondary pack. Still got them going side by side through all of these turns.
What's
I'm
happening
watching-
over there in the YouTubes?
I'm watching this middle pack so hard.
Oh, yeah.
I looked over at YouTube for a second.
Well, Chris Muth is really putting that bumper on Sibley. He's been doing it here for the last few laps.
Really trying to give him that shove forward that he needs, because that's the other thing is, you know, it's a wide track, but man, just the way these cars drive in and out of these corners, man, you can get a big run, but if you got nowhere to go with that run, it's almost feel like it was a complete waste.
Jessica Stubblefield, I'm glad you brought up that keyboard, because we're going to pick a fan of the race tonight from all you guys over there in the YouTube chat, and you're going to be added into the drawing that's going to occur at the end of the season. And they're giving away a fancy mechanical RGB light-up keyboard I don't know who that's courtesy of. I think Derek Welch must have bought that out of his own pocket. I'm not sure there. But yeah, definitely stay tuned to see who the fan of the race is right after the checkered flag drops.
And then John Buckley says Alan English is dropping words of wisdom. I think you were talking about how me, not English.
Yeah,
I was the one dropping knowledge. You know?
Hey, when it comes to Michigan, I ask more questions than make statements.
Yeah, I'm the knowledge. Give me my props here.
Yeah, I like to learn. I like to learn about this track.
No, this is my favorite track, and obviously the other ones I don't know anything about, so I have to kind of brag here. But these guys are doing a great job. This secondary pack is where it's at. I mean, it's where the fun is. It's where the action is. I like watching this Chris Muth. That paint scheme is amazing. Derek Welch is looking good. Sibley, Eric Thornton.
John Buckley just said, "My bad."
Yeah, thank you, John. That's okay. You get it. We're AAA, and we're all kind of interchangeable. Nobody can tell who's who anyway.
Hard enough time remembering my own name. Thank you, Helen, for joining us once again here to pull for the 79 machine. The 79's right at the back of that really tight, exciting pack right now. It's got all these guys right there battling all battling for a top 10 right here.
That's the fun stuff right there. He's starting to move his way up in that Allegheny machine, but lots of little traction there in 3 and 4, and you can do that. This 3 and 4 it's something, man.
3 wide, Derek Welch in the middle. ATG Trucking said that DW guy, he's bogus. He's out there, he's split in the middle there. He'll get around Kraft and Hoytsma. So now he's got Gavin Ray in his sights in the 27 machine. Oh, Hoytsma in the wall again. That's going to cause the 3 to have to check up or run him over. It looks like you give him a little bumper there. Hoytsma in the wall again. Oh, and he's stuck on the wall there. Yeah, he got a little assistance, I think.
What'd you think about that action there, Brown?
Man, oh man, we knew something was coming as we were a little over 20 laps into this run. These guys are feeling it here as the battle in the mid-pack continues to bubble and boil on over. The race up at the front has been heating up as well. Oh man, Vince Short and Kevin Delia almost making contact as Joe Hoggard, he did lose the lead there for a couple laps, but was able to fight his way back up in front. And now, with the people fighting behind him, he's trying to get a little bit of that space, a little bit of that distance, and just try to continue to put time away from these guys, because the more they fight behind him here, especially on older tires, the more Joe Hoggard is going to be able to extend his lead.
And they're making it look, man, I'm kind of wishing I was out there right now. I'd be having some fun. Yahtzee.
We're getting some shade on the track now. That's going to help with some grip.
That it is. That's Hoytsma up into that outside wall there again. As almost like instantaneously as that shade hit, people kind of like spread out a lot more. Like that mid group that we were just watching that were so tight together, they spread out.
Yeah, Hoytsma's really hurting on those tires right now. He can't wait for a caution or a pit stop opportunity to show itself here pretty soon, because man, he's doing all he can to try to stay out of that wall right now.
Well, we're coming up on 30 laps to go, and we're almost 30 laps into this stint, so I got a feeling we're probably going to see some people maybe thinking about coming on in and racing here to the finish, as we still got side-by-side action, at least up at the front. Kevin Delia, Vince Short, Pandisio, and Hawley all side-by-side trying to hunt down that 64 of Joe Hoggard. We also got some people racing way there in the back. You got Mark Collins, Tom Barish, Paul Ferdiani. They've been having a pretty quiet battle back here. It's been pretty tame. They've given each other plenty of space. Oh man, someone going all the way down to the apron there just to make sure they can make the turn.
And Nikki's saying that looking good, number 15. Royce joining us from Numb Thumbs over there saying go NTG. John Buckley says let's go number 27, Gavin Ray. And he also said, you think we're going to be pitting under green? He said he's guessing probably about 5 laps or so, you're going to start seeing some green flag pit stops maybe.
And just as we say that, Paul Ferdiani comes on down. Same thing with that too. Juan Jimenez. Juan just not having the best of luck out here. That outside wall has definitely not been his friend. He's been kind of riding that thing a bit, but coming on down for what could possibly be his final pit stop here tonight. Of course, depending on if we have any late cautions or anything like that. Well, here they come. More drivers coming on down. Joe Hoggard, Vince Short coming on down into the pits. Kevin Delia now taking control of this race. Eric Thornton coming on down into the pit lane as well.
And keep in mind, Juan Jimenez, one of those guys that took fuel only on the last stop, thinking there might be a caution upcoming. So those tires were shredded, son. There wasn't nothing left of them things, I bet. Joe Bennett coming over the radio saying he's pitting this next upcoming lap. So I think that was a lot of the reason you saw so many people go single file and kind of spread out is because they knew they're going to be pitting soon.
Ooh.
Just a guess.
Locking up the brakes, Pandisio.
Black flag for Juan Jimenez.
Ooh, that hurts.
Yeah, under green. That's bad news for him.
Holly overshot his box a little. Those little things right there that they can just hurt you a little bit.
And they hurt so much worse under green. That's, you're talking about a lot of yards that you're losing in a track position, having to back up.
Ooh, we got one turning around here it just overcooked it on the pit road. 43 hit the wall.
Kevin Delia. I don't know if he was able to actually complete his pit stop there. I think he was, but
I think he came out of the pit box and just cooked those tires and turned it into the wall.
So as we have this green flag pit cycle work its way on around, Gavin Ray, Derek Welsh, Chris Muth Jr., Mark Collins, and Tom Barish all yet to pit. Looks like Tommy Welsh had called it a night back there about 30 laps ago, as we're waiting for that completion of these guys to make their final rounds of pit stops.
Yeah, so Delia got his pit stop in. He just all new tires, cold tires, cooked it right in the wall. Not a huge issue, but it's going to slow him down some.
Now these guys are all spread out. You're probably going to have a lot. We're going to have some green flag laps here running, I'm sure, with all these guys so spread out now due to these pit stops. But, ooh, Yahtzee, we're going to have some aggression ramping up here late as there's only about 26 laps to go.
Yeah, and I kind of hate how they're spreading out, Brown. I loved seeing those guys racing so close together. Hopefully we'll get some packs up front that will make it more interesting as this thing goes along. And we could have a caution that I'd love to see them bunch back up because we saw some really good racing.
That indeed, as here comes Gavin Ray, Mark Collins, and Tom Barish, leaving Derek Welch out there to kind of lead the charge right now. He's got some of those cars, and you're going to watch them just fly right back on around him here. The new set of tires versus the old, as we're just about done here with pit stops. But man, Derek Welch, he's going to be out there. He's trying to run it as much as possible here. He's begging, pleading, doing everything he can to try to pick up that caution.
Well, I mean, you got to gamble a little bit here, and that's what he's doing. You never know if it'll pay off. That's the thing. You just don't. you can't predict the future in racing. That's part of the fun about it, right?
Yeah, that is correct. As we do have some racing that has kind of grouped little groups up together. We got Ryan Pandisio and Vince Short having a little battle here. As here comes Derek Welsh down into pit lane, completing this cycle. Sibley, Ray, and Bennett came on out around each other. Same thing with Kevin Delia. All those guys are going to be racing hard. Joe Hoggard has a just almost 4-second lead over Short and Pandisio, who are still having that bit of a battle here.
Yeah, now it's going
Sean.
to be a little bit more difficult for us to kind of find who's fighting who and where as it spreads out.
Sean Reese is here pulling for Stub Nation. That number 79 of Timmy Stubblefield. Nancy's here pulling for the 99 of Kraft. See, Lauren saying, Sean, go get some Taco Bell already.
Yeah, I thought it looked like he was spamming. I thought it might have been one of them crazy spammers we have every once in a while. Good to see him out here watching tonight.
Thank y'all so much for all the thumbs ups tonight. We sure appreciate it. The more of those we get, the more people we can reach.
What does that mean? Do we get more like beer money or anything? Do I get a beer sponsor? My dream beer sponsor? No?
Yeah, I wish. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate dream.
Awesome. 34 viewers out there right now. Thank y'all so much for joining us.
Yeah. And that doesn't say there's a lot of people that just watch this tomorrow at work. You know, everybody don't do nothing at work anymore. It's quiet quitting. You heard about this? You just kind of quiet quit. You just go to work and you show up and you don't do nothing, but watch like iRacing videos and stuff, you know, which is cool to us.
It's called goofing off. How's that quitting?
Well, they call it quiet quit now. You know, they got to label everything these days, you know.
I don't get that.
Yeah, well, that's what's happening. So
Quiet
go
quitting.
quiet quit your job and watch some of our races. Hell, I don't care. Paid the same regardless. Pandisio is coming up quick on who's that? Newingham in that Oregon machine. Having a rough night out there in 20th place, but he's still out there clicking laps off. Brian Newingham, Oregon, the Ducks paint scheme.
As Corey Sibley, Gavin Ray, and Kevin Delia continue to have a battle inside this top 10. Double O Joe Bennett, he's trying to hold it together here as he's sitting in that 10th spot, but he's got a charging 3 of Chris Muth Jr. hauling butt on him here as he tries to get things back up and running. We've got, let's see, Dave Hoytsma with that 99 of Jason Kraft in it with a little bit of a battle. Stubblefield not too far behind him here, as well as Mark Collins making up some of that ground. Joe Hoggard, though, with that 3-second lead, just trying to hold off as much as he can. That 663 of Pandisio in the 15 of Short. That gap has been slowly inching its way on down here with 19 laps left remaining. And it looks like those guys here in that battle for 10th, man, they're starting to really bunch back up.
Yeah, this looks like the chase we saw at the front of the pack at Watkins Glen, the road course last week. Joe Hoggard leading Ryan Pandisio by a couple of seconds. Just hoping a caution doesn't come out. That's what Ryan's thinking. Or Joe Hoggard, I'm sorry, the 64. He does not want to see a yellow flag right now. He wants to maintain that gap between him and the second place machine of Pandisio.
I kind of personally want to see a little caution.
It's kind of fun to see him stack back up and see the aggression here late in a race.
Oh, it's racing, man. I mean,
Yeah.
we saw so much of it tonight. We got spoiled. And then we had that green flag pit stop that kind of just took a little bit of the wind out of our sails as far as tight racing, but people are still putting in the work out there for sure.
Spaced out right now. Joe Hoggard also, the hard charger so far tonight. He is up 20 spots. It's the 22. I don't know if y'all saw that. 22 pancaked the outside wall pretty hard. Eric Thornton, your 7th place car there. Hard contact the outside wall.
Well, it's going to happen with some of these guys. The more they drive the car, kind of to the limits of the capabilities of the car, they're going to hit that wall in 2. If there's traffic around them or not, that's what's going to happen.
Okay, so here, we talk about the draft a lot. We talk about these guys being nose to tail real close to each other. So when you go into the turns, and is it the same kind of effect here where you're getting, if you're the car in the back, you're getting the air taken off your nose. Does that cause a tight condition and kind of push you up towards that outside wall?
Man, you're asking real technical stuff. I just drive the thing, turn left. But I think, yes, it can. I'm just not familiar with the way these cars drive.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Typically, I hate to say something I don't know anything about. They're a totally different animal. Next gen car, they're like nothing. We were already out of the game when they brought this car on board, so I haven't done much running around on it.
But typically with, maybe an Xfinity car or a truck or something that it punches a big hole in the air, you definitely get some air taken off your nose and affect your front grip. I just didn't know if it translated with these next gen cars. Maybe we need to try it out one day.
Yeah, one day we need to get back behind the wheel and have a fun race or something.
Yeah, I'll be down for that.
Maybe
Eric Welch keeps inviting me to practice races and stuff. He says, y'all need to come out and race with us one time. I think that'd be fun. I'll do some AAA paints.
Yeah, I don't want to embarrass myself, but
well, if we paint a bright enough AAA broadcasting paint job on the car, maybe they'll know to stay away from us.
We'll have good footage for maybe like a promo or something.
Yeah, maybe so.
As you can see, the lap time differential here between Hoggard and Pandisio. Pandisio running consistently faster laps here, inching his way ever more forward, trying to catch up to that 64 machine, but he is running out of laps. 13 laps left remaining here, and it's going to be even less as soon as that Hoggard machine comes on down across the line.
That gap, he's still holding that gap. Joe Hoggard is. He's lost almost a full second, but I think he's just managing it. I think he's just managing the gap. He's watching his relative box. He knows how far behind Ryan is, and he's trying to adjust his speed accordingly, I'm sure. Now he's got some wiggle room. Not a whole ton of it, but he does have some wiggle room.
What's pretty cool about everything here, we have 20 trucks still, looks like on the lead lap, which is pretty amazing.
That is amazing that trucks are still on the lead lap.
Or cars. We're talking about trucks, cars. I win in trucks here, so okay, you got me. I got you on the what was that guy's name that you were talking about? He was on bicyclist. He cheated a lot.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my number mix-up yesterday.
No, I didn't care about that. I took care of that wise guy. I'm the wise guy. If you're going to send some wise guy comments, I'm going to let you have it a little bit, just in fun, right?
I tell you what, Juan Jimenez is not having a lot of fun tonight. He down 20 spots starting on the pole tonight. And he'll probably finish back here if things remain how they are in 20th or 21st even. He's actually battling right now Bryant Newingham for that lucky dog position.
And that would be pretty important if we do have a caution.
Newingham's got a pretty good lead on him, though, on the track.
And about
Pretty good gap, 14-second gap between them.
Yeah, right there about. So, yeah, unfortunately for the two, just having one of those kind of rough days. And it's really all just from that outside wall just creeping on up and grabbing people here tonight as we enter into single digits left remaining. 9 laps left for Ryan Pandisio to try to close up that gap. Same thing with Vince Short. He did kind of fall back to almost a full second behind Pandisio, but he's sticking with it and making a little bit of a charge now.
Yeah, to answer your question, Jessica, I don't know. I mean, we're so spread out now. I don't know if you're going to get that word we won't say.
He asked caution. It's like an emoji thing.
Yeah, caution.
Yeah, they want a caution. The fans want a caution, guys. If y'all are
Well,
listening,
they want a shot. I mean, it's been a long time
somebody
since they
just
had a shot.
You know, teammates in the real world, they would, you know, like Pandisio's teammates just tank one if he's in the back, you know, and cause an accident. That way, everybody can get stacked back up, and then Ryan can have.
God.
You know that.
Oh, there
happens.
could be some controversy happening.
Does that
now.
not happen in real life? Tell me it doesn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's part of the gamesmanship here of racing. It's just part of it. We're so spread out now, though, it's going to be hard to cause something like that, I believe.
Now, there's still some passing going on. Eric Thornton right now battling. Well, camera changed, Tony. It's Eric Thornton and
Mark Collins.
Like 23, and Mike. There you go, Mark.
Yeah, as Mark Collins shuffling on through, drifts up the track right in front of that 22 machine, able to sneak that position away, inching his way ever more forward, trying to get into that top 10. He's only got about half a second up to that 99, or 999, excuse me, of Corey Sibley. It's that dang paint job. The way he's got those 9s stacked up makes me makes me think it's only 2 9s, but no, he's got 3 9s on there.
Well, we're going to see probably a little bit different finish than we saw last night. Kind of a super speedway-esque finish to Atlanta last night with Albert Anderson picking up the win. Great to see him get up there and put a notch in his belt there. Getting a win at Atlanta.
As we have pretty much 6 laps left remain. Now 5 laps as the leaders come down and across that line. That gap between Pandisio and Short is close, and the gap between Hoggart and Pandisio is still closing ever so slowly.
Thank you, Helen. We sure appreciate it. She says she's really enjoying the broadcasting. Great job. Thank you so much, Helen. Well, y'all on here, y'all are the reason why we're here. So thank y'all so much for joining us and for giving us thumbs up and subscribing and everything. It's really helping our channel. And you guys really do a great job of supporting us. So thank y'all so much to everybody out there in the YouTube for watching tonight.
Well, it's really just we're watching a race with y'all. Sometimes we have some funny, dumb things we say that I think are funny. Y'all probably don't, but it just kind of makes the evening go by better. Just we interacting with y'all, and then Brown doing the great commentary of play-by-play. He's got the toughest job here. English and myself just get to kind of let it loose and have fun. So we're happy to be here, and we're ready to see what Brown's got these last 3 laps.
And well, final 3 laps. We have some passing to happen right now. We got the one of Welch trying to make a move up the inside of the 3 of Chris Muth Jr. Still not quite clear. They're going to be side by side as they come down and across the line to for them to go with 3 laps to go. You also got behind them Corey Sibley and Mark Collins. This is a battle for that final 10th spot right now. Sibley hanging on to it, hanging on that low line as Vince Short, man, I don't know if he's just trying to build up, trying to getting ready for that final lap charge here on that 663 of Pandisio, but that gap, that's starting to close up even tighter now with 2 laps remaining.
Yeah, sorry to hear the HBR TV1 says, got pneumonia, but I'm still watching the race. Hope you get better soon. I heard yesterday that you weren't doing too well. I thought it was bronchitis or something. Man, that pneumonia, that sucks. Hope you get better soon.
Well, here we go. Short all over that back bumper of Ryan Pandisio. Did each driver able to save just that little bit of extra tires as they make their way out of turns 3 and 4? Gonna be almost side by side across the line. White flag is out. This is it. No more cautions. Final lap of this race. We're getting this one done in regulation as the 15s tags the 663's outside quarter panel. A little bit of a net code there, but I think there was going to be contact either way. And Vince Short doing kind of the sportsmanship kind of moment here. Just let that 663 kind of save it. And it looks like Joe Hoggard making his way down through 3 and 4 right now with that almost 2-second gap. Drives his way down and across the line, picking up 2 wins in a row here for the Numb Thumbs Racing League.
Well, still a little bit going on back here. Derek Welch trying to get Chris Muth. He's not going to. He hit the wall. Well, I'll tell you what, I had a lot of fun there.
And they did. Mark Collins was able to get that pass done to sneak up into that final top 10 spot. We had some great racing all the way around here tonight. I know things kind of spread itself out and whatnot, but don't let that distract you from what a great race this was here today.
One other thing to take care of after this checkered flag finish here, and that's our fan of the race, Rebecca Smith. Fan of the race tonight, thank you so much for joining and for pulling for your driver, because we love it when the fans are all into it and everything. So you've joined the long list of folks we already have here, all having a chance to win that cool mechanical keyboard here at the end of the season. Golly, I got peanut butter on the top of my mouth.
Well, why'd you eat peanut butter? That doesn't seem...
No, it's no, really, it just feels like.
Oh. Well, regardless, that was a lot of fun. I didn't prefer. I just didn't like how it spread out at the end. But that's just part of it, man. That was kind of the gamble that happened. You know, it just went that way, and that's how races go. We had super entertaining races for majority of the race, pack racing, and then these guys were so good they green flagged it all the way for the last 40 laps or so. So that's how it ended up.
Yes, sir. As that 64 of Joe Hoggard burns those tires on down, man. You can tell he is excited for this win. It was a hard-fought win. He had to drive very, very hard and clean, basically, for the entire second half of this race.
And don't worry out there in YouTube. I have a feeling if Rebecca Davis shows up next week, she's got a pretty good shot at it, because I don't think she's on our list yet for having gotten a fan of the race yet. So she's definitely high on our list here.
Oh, I mean, they have to perform to get on the list too. They have to.
Yeah, that's true.
Good comments.
Gotta make some comments, yeah.
Yeah, we're just not giving away. You gotta work for it a little bit.
Well, speaking of working for it for a little bit, let's go ahead and talk to some of our finishers here tonight. Like our second place finisher, and a man who might as well just set up a cot up here in the booth because we talked to him so much. It's that 663 of Ryan Pandisio picking up the second place finish here tonight. Ryan, It looked like on that second half of the race, man, you were trying as hard as you can to catch up to Joe Hoggard there, just not quite enough left in the tank. But you still had also Vince Short giving you a pretty big challenge there late, too.
Yeah. I didn't think I could quite catch Joe, but I figured I'd give it a try. Was mostly trying to focus on racing with Vince, try to build a gap, and just couldn't quite get away from him.
Well, next week you guys go to Charlotte. Some similarities, I guess, with the 2 mile here, but it's just as far as tire wear goes, you're really going to have to watch your distance to the outside wall. We saw a lot of guys scraping the outside wall repeatedly tonight, just trying to run that high line like we see people do at Miami. It didn't really seem like it was worth the trade-off for those guys that ran really high. What was your favorite line running out there tonight?
Honestly, 1 and 2 kind of enter really high, and then you're kind of the end of turn 2, kind of clip it down to the bottom of the track before washing back up. And then 3 kind of enter high and just bring it back to the middle a little bit.
Well, I mean, it's a fun track. Y'all battled out there. Just, I mean, I love it. I thought we had a lot of fun, a lot of movement. The last portion, it was y'all were too good. Went too green, too long, but it worked out for you. Great job tonight. You have anybody you want to thank or anything like that?
Of course, I'd like to thank Docket, my sponsor, and you guys, everyone over at Nexus Esports, my teammates over here. All these guys that showed up tonight, that was probably the most fun I've had racing in this league so far. So, yeah.
Awesome, Ryan. Well, we appreciate the time, man, and we will look forward to seeing you here again next week coming up at Charlotte.
Thank you.
As we now, let's head on down to tonight's third place finisher. That's going to be the 15 of Vince Short. Vince, it looked like you were getting a good run there late on. Ryan just being a little bit sportsman there, and after tagging that rear quarter panel, letting him get collected and back up and running. But still a heck of a drive for you here tonight, up 16 spots. Just talk about how much of a battle it was, especially the first half of this race before things kind of got spread out. Because you guys were going 2-3 wide just about the entire dang time.
Yeah, I didn't get a whole lot of practice time, so my main thing was to make sure I had the right steering ratio that I could work with on long runs. I knew I was stronger than most on the long runs, so that's what I was working off of. My pit strategies worked really well to get me where I needed to be, and then that late one, me and Joe were talking. He wanted to go out hard because he was worried about me getting him on the late run, and then once Ryan got behind me, I told Ryan, just take your line, I'm not going to push you. That last part there on turn 4, I was actually trying to tuck behind him to get him a shove, and I pushed a little too hard and didn't hit the brakes soon enough, so I just backed off.
Yeah, it looked like Eric Thornton just posted a comment over there in Discord to you saying, wasn't trying to throw a block on you there, but when y'all got together, he just got a little bit too much into the brakes. Couldn't get his radio to work to talk to you and explain the situation there. Is that kind of how you saw it?
Well, I've had run-ins with him before. I think he just runs a little too hard into the turns. I don't know if he's intentionally throwing blocks out there, but way too early for that. And I voiced my opinion and let him know, hey, then you know, you can't block up high like that because I can't check up that quick.
Well, that makes it a little bit interesting, a little bit of fun, a little back and forth discussion, which I always like, but real gentlemanly thing you did there at the end of this thing. Great race. You're up 16 spots. You got to feel pretty good going into Charlotte.
Yeah, I love Charlotte, especially in these cars. You know, there's far and few between with these cars because there's, you know, with the updates they've had, it's just trying to get a feel for the car, and it seems like every track it's way different. So, you know, me not getting a lot of practice in, I have to play from behind most of the time. Like tonight, like being 0.8 of a second off the pole. So I'm not used to that. But, you know, I'm also used to coming from behind, so I wasn't too worried about it. I figured on the long run I would eventually get myself up there. It was just a matter of being smart and not trying to be over-aggressive.
Well, Vince, you did a solid job of it here tonight. Before we let you go, you got any shout-outs or anything like that?
Like I tell all my fans, my wife, first and foremost, she's my biggest fan. She's the biggest broadcast supporter for all you guys. AAA, Holler Boys Racing TV, Holler Boys Racing Team, my main sponsor, Track Bar Media, Two Blessings Thrift Store, my family, my brother Kyle, my nephew Landon, my mom Janet, my sister Jesse, and my daughters, Ashley, Rayleigh, and Shelby, and then my granddaughters Kira, Raylan, and Amari. Love you guys very much.
Man, that's kind of awkward. My mom's name is Janet too. Maybe we're brothers.
You never know.
Y'all can maybe.
Could be. You never know. You never know.
Oh, and last but not least, Numb Thumbs Racing. Best round.
That indeed. Well, Vince, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight, and we look forward to you in this league here coming up next week at Charlotte.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for the broadcast. Outstanding broadcast. Congrats to Joe and Ryan as well.
And speaking of Joe, your hard charger of the day, and boy, was it a hard charge. Up 20 spots, bringing that 64 machine home to victory lane 2 times in a row. Joe, congratulations. And we know that one was not easy.
No, heck no. That was a lot of fun. That race was a blast. From starting towards the back and having to make the right moves at the right time without wrecking myself and everybody else. Because I knew I was quicker back there, but I scraped the wall on both of my laps, so I was stuck back there, just kind of having to deal with it. And once I got to the front, I just did not want to give it up. But Vince, man, I'm telling you, if he would have been anywhere close to me going into that last, or like halfway through that last run, he would have beat me because he was faster than me on the long run every single time. So as soon as I saw that he was pitting, I was running down there to go with him, and I just pushed as hard as I could to build a gap right off the start so that I didn't have to worry about it. And they almost ran me down. 4 or 5 more laps, and it was going to get real interesting.
Yeah, we kind of saw. We were watching that gap, wondering, were you just managing the gap, or was he really catching up to you?
They were catching me. I was not.
Wow, I
pushed. So that's just it. Is because I knew he was faster than me. I pushed that hard that I destroyed my tires in the first half of that last stint. But I knew that was the only way that I had a shot, because if he got to me, it was going to get dicey.
Yeah, watching you guys race each other like that, just like at Watkins Glen, watching the chase kind of happen there was a whole lot of fun for us. I hope you had fun tonight.
Oh, I'm super proud of myself with the fact that I didn't screw it up, because I used to be the guy that would find his way, like, take a big lead, and then the pressure would build up and I'd make a big mistake. The last 2 weeks it's showing that I'm starting to move in the right direction mentally with this game. Sim, yeah. I'm sorry, it's a sim.
No, it is a sim. That's you're correct. Simulation, not a game. I tell everyone that. But yeah, you got to get that out of your mind of driving with that rear view mirror, and you did that tonight again. Great job. What about next week, Charlotte? Man, you got something for that track?
I don't know. I've only been there a couple times. Usually I've always been on the Roval. So for me, this is going to be a little interesting. I know the track, and I've raced the track before, but it's always been in public races. If you don't know what you're getting in the public races, you don't know who's actually fast and who's just, a decent driver. You could finish 5th and have super fast drivers in front of you, and you could be nothing. I honestly don't know what to expect when we get there, but I'm going to give it the best I can give it and see what happens.
Well, man, you gave it the best you could here tonight, and that is why you're up there on that number 1 spot. Joe, before we let you go, you got any final shout-outs, buddy?
DEP. Dude's awesome. I'm waiting for my throwback scheme that he's supposed to be making me here in the next week or so for one of the races coming up. Yellow Stripe Motorsports. Yeah, the teammates, you guys, it's been a fantastic season so far.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations picking up win number 2 in a row, and we cannot wait to see what you guys can pull out of the hat here coming up next week.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and boys, oh boys, that wraps up tonight's racing action from Michigan, and boy, that was a good one.
Yeah, I enjoyed the heck out of that. You know, we're kind of going through this Cup schedule. We're getting to see just completely different kind of racing every week. You know, road course last week. We've got this super fast, big 2-mile oval tonight, and next week Charlotte. You know, the hub of NASCAR, and just one of the classic tracks that's out there. You know, and we're going to see maybe a little shakeup towards the front. I know some guys, Vince Short's pumped about it. Joe Hoggard says, you know, I hadn't really run too much on the oval there. So it's going to be, we're going to see some differences in skill and strategy coming up next week at Charlotte. I can't wait for that one.
Well, and I just want to thank Numb Thumbs Racing League. They're giving us kind of the knowledge of these next gen cars, because going into this, we the three of us really didn't know what to expect. We hadn't been a part of it, and these guys are making it just look amazing out there. And great job tonight in Michigan. Some of the guys did what I told them, some of them didn't, but loved the race.
Absolutely. As we wind things down here, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver finished here tonight, starting off with that 64 machine of Joe Hoggard, hard charger of the day, and well earned, up 20 spots to pick up the win here, with the 663 of Ryan Pandisio coming home in second. Also doing a pretty good job battling it out there is the 15 of Vince Short. He's going to be up double digits, up 16 spots on the night to finish here in third. 27 of Gavin Ray, down a couple spots from where he started, but he was battling with some traffic here for a good chunk of this race, able to walk home with a fourth. You got the 48 of Zeth Hawley as well, finishing up there in that top 5. You got the 3 of Chris Muth Jr. He was having some good battles here with Derek Welch coming down the stretch, able to just get that spot away from him though in 6th, with the 1 of Derek Welch up 5 spots on the night. So pretty solid night there for Derek, able to finish in 7th. Kevin Delia able to bring that 43 machine home in 8th after a few issues. Same thing with that 00 Joe up there in a top 10 9th place finish here for him tonight. He scraped that outside wall quite a few times, so good job from him. With the 23 of Mark Collins finishing right where he started, right there in that final 10th position.
999 of Corey Sibley up 4 spots to finish in 11th place. 22 of Eric Thornton. Same deal, up 4 spots, finishing in 12th. Jason Kraft in the 99 slipped a few spots. That Mustang wouldn't cooperate with too much tonight. He'll finish in 13th. 79 of Timothy Stubblefield, crowd favorite out there tonight, down a few spots, finishing 14th. Snagging a top 15 tonight. The 97 of David Hoytsma. We talked to him earlier in the race, and he had a lot of contact with that outside wall tonight to run that high line, but he'll still snag a top 15. 24 Bay Area Rob Chowdhury down a couple spots as well. He'll finish in 16th place. Paul Ferdiani in the 33, right about where he started there. He'll finish in 17th. Tom Barish in the 55, up 4 spots, to finish your last car on the lead lap in 18th place. 19th place will be the 44 of Dana Shepard, 1 lap down. Also 1 lap down, the 17 of Brian Newingham, and that rounds out your top 20.
Well, I got 2 here. 2 of Juan Jimenez.
Sorry, buddy.
That's all right. Just a rough night. He was fast. He just got caught up. Ended up 21st. In the 9 of Thomas Welch, 22nd. So that's it, boys.
That is it. Well, while things are wrapped up here from Michigan, we thank you all for tuning in and watching each and every single race, man. We look forward to it because you guys sincerely are the reason why we do this, is hanging out and having a great time with all y'all. So thank you guys so much for that support, as well as the support from the great sponsors over here, like tonight's race sponsor of Gulf Coast Sands. That's not popping up right. Well, the logo's there somewhere, but Gulf Coast Sands, one of the best sand, gravel, and whatever fill you can think of providers in that Gulf Coast area. They got rail cars, they got trucks, they got just about everything to help you get the product that you need. So be sure to go and look them up. Same thing with we got DEP Graphics and ButtKicker all on board for this season. DEP Graphics, a premier car paint here in the simulator provider. They do absolutely fantastic work, so be sure to go and support them. And ButtKicker being your haptic support here, just adding to that sim experience, making things feel as real as possible, as well as AdminBoxx jumping on board, staying with these guys, the best button box solution that you can possibly get if you're trying to keep things under control here, while at the same time also be there in the race. So go ahead and go and look them up today. We also have Track Bar Media on board for the season. We thank you guys so much. Be sure to go and look up their page, as they do a fantastic job with their photography and edits and all that kind of stuff. So definitely go support them. Same thing with SimGearCentral.com. Be sure to go and order your little button box there that's got all the dials, knobs, switches, whatever have you, that can possibly get you that extra couple seconds, maybe save you that little bit of extra fuel by having like an ignition switch. Man, just the little things do matter here, so be sure to go out there and mention that AAA and the NTRL sent you on over there for 10% off. We also have TrackDogsRacing.com, your merchandising provider here for the Numb Thumbs Racing League and even some of the Numb Thumbs gaming community kind of merchandise. So be sure to go out there and order your hats, mugs, shirts, sweatshirts, whatever have you. Be sure to go and look them on up. So with that, we are shutting this one down here tonight, but we are coming back live tomorrow night with some HCK Beagles Racing League action, one that you definitely do not want to miss. I think they're coming to Michigan tomorrow night too, so I don't know. I'll look at the schedule later on, but either way, we got a lot of racing action left in store for you here this week, so don't miss a single second of it. Be sure to hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, just so you get alerted to the next time that we do go live. But until then, in tomorrow night, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
We gone.
The